We're here today at the University of Maryland, Southern Maryland Autonomous Research and Technology Innovation Center. They help with drone research and testing, and we thought this was a very appropriate place to talk about this topic. First of all, there is a move in some states to ban the purchase and use of Chinese-made and some other foreign-made drones. Is that a good idea or not?
I think it absolutely is a good idea. If you look up right now, DJI drones are everywhere. They're in private industry, they're in government, they're in law enforcement agencies, and they are introducing risk every single day. They're Chinese manufactured, they're Chinese made, and we're seeing a lot of data leave proprietary IT systems and go overseas to a nation state adversary that doesn't like the United States.
Let's break that down. What does that mean we're seeing data leave?
So right now, a lot of drone operators will attach a drone to their IT systems. That's how they're, connecting via the internet. They're mapping their infrastructure, firmware updates, software updates, etc. And so this information is now attached to somebody's IT system, where that information and that data through that drone is going back to servers in China for the Chinese government to see.
Do we know that's happening?
We absolutely do. This is not the boogeyman. The US government knows a number of incidents where data has leaked outside of the United States via these drones overseas.
Is it being stolen?
In my estimation, yes.
You believe the data right now from drones in the US is being stolen by the Chinese government?
Absolutely, and I think the tool that is being used is DJI Chinese manufactured drones.
Any foreign-made drone or just DJI?
Well, I think DJI, given that they have 90% of the market, that's where I would point my finger to first. But at the end of the day, I would support, and I think even the White House would support, American-made drones inside American law enforcement, inside American critical infrastructure companies.
Couldn't this have been just an honest software update or a wayward IP address or something that's not nefarious?
I think the answer is possibly, but there's been a number of incidents where we have seen information and we saw exactly pinpointed on a map exactly where the information was routed back, and it was China.
You say you've seen it with your own eyes?
Correct.
Can you show us the proof?
Not under my current hat now.
Is that because the information is classified?
Yes.
So we can't see it, but the government is saying trust us on this.
If you get into a classified conversation in a classified space in a SCIF with the US government, they can show you the data, yes.
Some people we've talked to said this is all about hypocrisy. We've got Chinese-made iPhones, we've got Chinese-made smartwatches, we've got Chinese-made smart TVs. Why is this any different?
Well, because in this particular case, it's law enforcement, it's government, and it's critical infrastructure owners and operators that are handling very sensitive data. This is not an iPhone. This is maps to critical infrastructure. This is law enforcement sensitive data that we don't necessarily want in the hands of nefarious bad actors.
Let's talk about law enforcement. We've talked to quite a few about this topic. Local law enforcement told us they don't care if China can see what they're doing with a DUI suspect. They want the best tools available, and according to them, it's market leader DJI.
Well, I would suggest that there's other high-performance drones out there to use, but I will suggest that that law enforcement view is very tactical, and it's not very strategic.
I actually knew you had that view, that they're just thinking tactically and not strategically, and so when we interviewed Sheriff Hobie Runyon, he's in Sebastian County, Arkansas, that's the northwest corner near the Ozarks. We specifically read him, your quote, that they are viewing this tactically and not strategically. And I want to read you what he said back to us. He said, quote, "I'm not responsible for the big picture as far as the national infrastructure. I'm responsible for the well-being of the citizens here in Sebastian County. I understand tactics and security. I spent 21 years in the military with tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. If they want to do that at a national level, certainly they can. However, I'm not sure how that applies right now to what I'm doing here in rural Arkansas." How would you respond?
I respond by saying he sounds like a great American, and I thank him for his service. However, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can invest in American-made drones that do not have data leakage associated with a nation-state adversary like China while also protecting our U.S. citizens, period. If you already own and operate these drones, there are some mitigating measures that you can do to mitigate or reduce the risk. And so removing the SD card, not connecting to the internet, these are all safe ways in which to operate Chinese manufactured drones. But if I am in the process of doing a procurement decision to bring on brand new drones, I would steer clear from anything that is Chinese manufactured.
What about other countries, Russia?
I would not, for the exact same reasons. I do not trust that data. I do not trust their supply chain on where some of these parts within the drones are actually made. I would focus on buying U.S. manufactured drones, period.
You're talking about law enforcement, critical infrastructure. What about somebody at home watching this interview? They've got a drone. They use it for pictures of their kids. They use it on camping trips. They use it in the woods. What is your advice to them?
Similar to TikTok, I would put DJI in the same exact category. If you're comfortable having servers in China see pictures of your kids, then by all means, I would not do it for my own children.